I actually, the people who say I don't vote, I have more respect for them than the people who say I vote third party.
I don't.
Because and I'll break it down, and we can have this conversation, maybe not on this show, but the next one. It's like if I give you $100 and I say the Lakers are playing the Celtics, and then I ask you the next day, who did you vote for, or who did you put your money on for the bet? Hopefully you won. And it's like, I was a big fan of Michael Jordan, so I put my money on the Bulls. Bulls didn't play tonight; they had zero chance of winning.
Yeah, I get that. And that's the common thing that people say too. But I would argue that it is unequivocally the Democratic Party to convince third-party people to vote for them. And if they can't do that, then that is on them 100%. And me specifically, I didn't vote third party, but I thought about voting for Cornel West. I would have preferred to probably vote for. I don't even think he was on the ballot actually.
No, he wasn't on the ballot here in Indiana.
But Jill Stein gets a lot of flack and all this other stuff. And granted, I think she should probably start more at the grassroots and more on the, get the Green Party and Congress and stuff like that. But, when people that vote third party, I 100% understand why they do. Because I don't have anybody that represents me in this election. I voted for the best interest of what I thought was best. But at the same time, it's like, some people are just like, nah, like some people are not budging on the Palestinian-Israel issue, and I 100% respect that. And, if both political parties are going to say, no, we're going to continue genocide, and they're like, well, screw you then. They knew what they were doing when they made that policy choice. Kamala Harris, they made that, the Democratic Party made that choice, and so if they chose that they wanted the Zionist fan base for that.
No, I totally get that. What bothers me are the individuals that don't vote but have so much to say. That's what bothers me. Yeah. Like if you're just ignorant on the voting process and don't understand it, and you didn't vote because you don't feel comfortable. Okay, that's one thing. Versus somebody that doesn't vote but has the most to say about everything that goes on here. Well, my vote ain't gonna count anyway, so what's the point of doing it?
Yeah.
You know how many people that adds up to that would have made a difference?
Yeah.
That's what
I'm with Terry. I'm with what Terry said on that one. Yeah.
No, I mean
that's a good point.
I mean, I've really thought about, there have been times where I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go I'm gonna do like in Brewster Million, none of the above. But
I did that on the judges. There were so many judges on the ballot.
I voted for everybody to be out. I'm like,
I did 95% no's.
I said no.
There were two yeses.
Some people got to go.
Yeah. Most people just need to go. Yeah.
But I don't know, man. It's just like where because like I said, I'll be honest, I'm not on fire for Kamala.
Yeah.
I was just like I wasn't for Joe Biden, but like the things that I have a problem with, if I've voted for Donald Trump, what would he do any better? And I couldn't find anything. At least, there's a difference between somebody I could at least try to reason with and somebody who I know is just going to do the worst thing they possibly can.
Yeah.
And that's where, people's like, oh, you shouldn't have to vote for the lesser two evils. That's a lot of what life is.
Yeah.
The bar there.
It's like, okay, I'm either going to get this car I really like or the one that has good gas mileage and is safe.
Yeah.
It's like that's people always say, oh, don't think about the lesser two evils as just happening in political. Like that's kind of what you do every day when you pick what you eat, when you pick where your kids go to school. Like a lot of these things are the lesser of two evils. But,
for sure.
Yeah,
people that are programmed use the same terminology on everything. Every argument is always something you've heard before. It's almost cliche to talk to these people because they're going to tell you the exact same thing that they heard somebody else say, but then they're going to call you a sheep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I lean towards more generally respecting the third party choice to vote, but that's not what I personally do. You know what I mean? Because like to Jay's point, like I'm more aligned with that thinking. It's like, no, like yes, advocate for third party stuff outside of the election itself. But then get in there and vote for the person that is closest to the thing that's not going to destroy everything.
Country,
I just wish the people that were third party would be really active non-presidential election times.
Yeah,
to me, the primaries are the most important. I mean, this is granted very important, but to like induce change, it's the primaries. Like if we want change to happen, and another thing is to say there is also the ideology, the thinking behind that, like, well, we have to let it burn. that is also like, if the Democratic Party can't get it done and they can't bring their constituents, then maybe they, and I kind of understand it to a degree, that's the far left, kind of thinking, and, in general, but like, I don't think that that's necessarily the appropriate mode of transportation. But some people ride bikes, some people drive cars, you know what I mean?
Well, and if for the people who vote third party and have that mindset, just like you said, it has to be done a lot earlier than 8 weeks before the election.
Yeah, but again, I think it's just like the integrity in me. It's just like the morale aspect. Like, it's really hard for me to like if you say to my face that I'm not going to do some shit, like, it takes a lot for me to be like, cool, I'll still support this because it's still good for everybody else. A very, very major part of me just wants to just say, I don't give a fuck about you.
Yeah, that's true. But in the same token, I would rather you tell me that you're not going to do something versus telling me that you're going to do something that you don't do.
And then not doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, but we already know you're not going to do it. So it's like, hey, do you want my vote or not? Oh, you don't want it? Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you for telling me you don't want my vote.
I'll take my vote and go elsewhere.
I wish that we can get more, and the last thing I'll say about this, I wish we could get to a place to where, like, we can get some ranked choice voting stuff happening. That would be awesome. I think that would solve a lot of these issues with voter turnout and third party related stuff. But I don't think the Republicans are ever going to go for that, because I don't think it would ever help them. So
no, it's not, because even when you look at the states that turn red, they're not turning red by the areas that are more occupied. They're turning red by the areas that are rural and on the outskirts, essentially. So that's not gonna happen.
And realistically, all liberals are the same way. They want to keep the structure of the Democratic Party. So why would they allow a third party system, or not a third party system, but a ranked choice voting that could potentially break up that corporate entity of the Democratic and or Republican Party? Anyways. Well, let's talk about some other stuff that's also politics in a way.